So remember at the
Yes.
at the
Ready.
the what was it called? The Crystal Casino?
Yeah.
Where Everdy Darkness was? So in the Crystal Casino there were those two Warforged security guards in the front. Yeah. They were locked in battle with two kind of like dog-sized scorpions. Small baby but giant scorpions, right? But then there was this huge scorpion on this tower next to it that was throwing these little scorpions into the street. They had killed a horse, they had killed a guard. They were battling these guys. You guys ran down the street, they threw some more. You guys fought them. Killed two more guards, I think?
Yeah.
And then and then you guys killed all the little ones, and then you were able to kill the big giant one, right? At which point you realized you had forgotten to keep someone to cover.
No, we did leave someone.
No one was up behind guarding Errol Darkness.
There actually was. He just got murdered.
Oh, right. There were still some sentries and some investigators that were at the scene of the crime, the original murder scene. So you guys went running back to the murder scene, realizing that this whole thing may have been a distraction. When you arrived at the murder scene, you found investigator and his assistant slaughtered in the entryway, and Errol Darkness nowhere to be found.
Great. Time to kill that.
Time to go find Everdy Darkness and massacre her.
You mean murder her?
What happened? So basically, what happened?
Massacre everyone on the way.
I wasn't here last time.
Massacre anyone who tries to stop us.
And
Yeah.
the person that we're trying to protect.
What about the little?
I got it wrong.
What about
when it attacks just a regular attack?
Scorpions.
But
it was all scorpions.
But
Yeah, it was all
What
scorpions.
about the little
alchemist
alchemist?
Right, so you guys ran back to the alchemist lab, which is where you had left Errol Darkness. And when you got back there, you found two dead investigators, two policemen who had been killed.
Things are gonna be
and he was nowhere to be
Like
found.
in a horror game where there's just like blood, slaughter, and
Yes,
dead bodies.
there was a surprising amount of blood in this alchemy lab, unfortunately.
That reminds me of Bendy.
I'm still in the potions this
Except
time.
That
blood
reminds me of horror
is kind
games.
of ink in Bendy, which is fortunate. Unless that ink is blood, then we might have an issue.
What ink?
In Bendy.
Bendy and the...
What's
So, you
Bendy
guys are
ink
now
machine.
standing over the crime scene.
It's a super scary.
And there are some clues that you might want to investigate. So we're going to kind of fast track this a little bit because we're starting late and we're planning to go till about 5. Is that cool?
Oh, yeah, that's
on
perfect.
schedule? Okay.
Perfect.
So, Cody, you might want to write this down. These are some clues that you see.
What are they?
Where, you know, kind of like in the lab, there's an overturned table.
I'm just
Right?
gonna write this in a basic image.
Near the overturned table, there is some broken glass. And it looks like there might also be some bloody footprints leading away from the broken glass. So, overturned table, broken glass, and what appears to be some blood-stained footprints leading away from the broken glass. Would you like to investigate?
Footprints.
Oh, are you leveling up, or what's going on, Josiah?
I'm doing some basic ones.
I am kind of... It turns out I found a character sheet in my folder that was literally, it was finished except there was no equipment.
Okay. So you're equipping your guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You need a minute to finish that? We can take a minute
Okay.
before we start
No,
playing.
I'll just be filling it out on the way.
Can I level up with 250
'Cause,
experience points?
Not yet.
At the end of this session, we're all going to be level 2.
You'll probably level up after.
How
Okay.
much
And,
more?
and you know what
I
we
have
decided to
200
do? Since we now have 5 players and not everyone's going to be available every time, we're going to use milestone levels. So everyone's going to level up at the same time, even if you miss a session or 2, because I don't want to penalize anybody.
That would give people, but that will make people have a desire to come every week.
Right, but the problem then, Cody, is we have to wait till everyone's available. And today, 2 players are missing, so we wouldn't get to play today. So we decided it would be more fun to play and go milestone than not play.
I've
Are you
used it with
comfortable
my
with
groups before, and it works pretty good.
Okay, I will investigate the bloody foot.
Okay, so you move closer to the bloody
Where are
footprints,
we?
Cody. Give me a roll, an investigation roll, please.
An investigation or perception.
Yes.
Investigation. 9.
A 9. Okay, so with a 9, which is not a particularly great roll, Cody, you just noticed that there's a lot of blood splatter and small spots of blood, but no large pools to indicate that there was anyone that was killed here. So it looks like just maybe some strange blood, and also that you see this blood trail that leads kind of off and towards the rear exit.
And
Someone else might want to help you with your investigation there, Cody, because it turns out you're not a super spy. I thought you were a kind of spy guy.
Could I try and help?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but my guy's not a specialist on footprints.
Oh, footprints is not your
My guy's
expertise.
a specialist on
Gronk
breaking
is a tracker?
in.
Gronk has a lot of experience tracking animals. Could he possibly use his survival?
I would allow that for sure.
You wanna roll your
I'll also
survival?
investigate
Well, they
the
are
broken glass.
furries.
Okay.
Well, they are furries. They're furries. Furry confirmed.
Roll there.
Oh,
19.
Well, but plus what?
No, that was
survival.
a plus.
Yeah. So 19 plus?
Wait, no, I rolled like a 16.
No, you rolled a 19. It was just upside down.
It was a 19.
It was an unbelievable roll.
So
It
it's
was
a 22.
Great job.
22.
22. Oh, so you've seen these kind of wounds before, right? This creature that was bleeding like this creature did not die here. This creature was badly wounded. It looked like perhaps an arterial hit, but they are still alive afterwards, and they are needing medical attention or healing, or else they may die. So it's serious enough that they would have to seek medical attention, but they are not dead.
Follow the footprints then.
Okay, there's other things that can be investigated before you head out the
I'll
back. The
invest-
footprints lead,
don't
so
follow
you're
them
able to
just
easily
yet.
travel,
Someone can be
follow the
in the
footprints.
ambush.
It looks like they lead out the back door, and there's a small pool of blood near the foot of the door. And with your incredible roll, you're able to ascertain that that's probably because someone was helping carry this person, and they leaned him up against the wall while they opened the door. So you think that perhaps this was someone being helped out of the room that had been badly wounded.
But what kind of creature is it? Is it a human?
How about a medicine check? Can you do a medicine
I'll
check
make a
to see
medicine
what
check as
type
well.
of blood it is? I'm not sure your
I
survival
have
skills.
+1 on medicine.
Okay, let's see if you can.
Okay, let's see.
Try it.
It's gonna be pretty. I mean, you're.
16.
14.
I mean, you're not sure if you're just assuming that it's human blood because that's pretty much
14.
what you're most familiar with, but you would guess human
14.
blood. It doesn't. You've seen animal bloods before, right? They're a little bit thicker sometimes and things, and definitely human blood. You would guess
I got a 16.
on blood identification.
Yes.
You also believe, Cody, that it was probably human blood.
It's human blood.
Yeah.
It was
yeah.
a human.
So there's still kind of the turned over table area and some broken glass to investigate.
I'll investigate the broken glass.
Okay.
Finally, the
So
wizard's
Cody, you
done.
approach. It looks like broken
29.
shards of glass are all over the floor. Mixed with the broken shards of glass, there's other things that you might want to poke through.
I will, and
Okay.
I rolled a 21 on investigation.
Oh, wow. There you go. I thought I thought you were good at investigation. Cody, you start poking around in the glass, the broken glass. And most of it, even though it's glass, it's not, really fine glass. This was used in a laboratory. But you do quickly notice that there's also several large pieces of porcelain, pottery, a white pottery. And as you pull it out carefully, like you're being extremely careful with your investigation roll, you pull out what appears to be a large piece of a mask. It's a white mask with a red rune on it.
Must.
And everyone can make a DC 10 intelligence check.
Okay.
If anyone has the criminal or urchin background, let me know.
I have an urchin background.
All right, so you get advantage on this roll, Cody.
6,
Roll an
9,
intelligence check.
and finally,
Just a
that's
straight-
what I was
straight die,
thinking.
Just a straight die.
11.
An 11? An 11 is not
19.
good enough. A 19? Gosh, you guys are
You
killing
said
these
10.
rolls. 10 intelligence check. Oh, yeah,
14.
you're right, 10.
14.
10 intelligence check, you're right. 14 is enough?
Do I know
And
anything?
Cody's got a 19. Okay, so you guys all recognize this quickly as the red, Cody, you recognize as a dragon mark, right? So it is a magical rune. It's a reproduction of a dragon mark, but you recognize it as the symbol of one of the local theater troupes. It's a mask that's worn in dramatic plays and historical
why
reproductions. You saw the sign when you first entered the city. You remember seeing a poster that this theater troupe had just arrived in town and was going to be doing some plays in a local theater not far away in Lower Dura.
As well.
Let's go there.
Cody,
and massacre
you know what
everyone.
you know, interestingly enough, is you have a lot of information on the dragon mark itself. And what's interesting about this dragon mark is this dragon mark is tied to the draconic prophecy, and particularly a very dark part of the draconic prophecy,
What part?
in which human sacrifice was required to unlock the next stage of the prophecy.
Oh, great.
Okay. Hopefully that doesn't include half-elf sacrifice. Get it?
Half elf.
Yeah.
So, and that's pretty much all you
You're
guys
both
get.
half elf
And,
wizards.
and Cody, you continue to prod around in the
Like,
broken glass that you found on the floor. You don't find any other pieces of porcelain. Most of the rest of the glass you think is from the laboratory, right? It's beakers and
40.
flasks and stuff that looks like it fell off the shelves. It just somehow got mixed in with this mask somehow. You're not really sure, but you don't find anything else in the broken glass, even with your incredible
I
rolls.
think I need to go back.
Okay, do you have the card key? Do you want us to wait for you to get back?
Oh,
Yes, please.
Okay, we will take a little break, bathroom break.
Okay,
You
now
got
I
some
have enough time to
copying.
finish this.
Okay.
Spell list.
It's usually alignment of fate.
faith is like what religion you follow in the D&D world.
And in Eberron, faiths are very unusual. Unlike the Forgotten Realms, where you guys normally play, where the gods, the deities actually walk among us, right? And you can meet them, and they're very active in the world. In Eberron, it's more like our world, where the gods are unseen. So there are religious orders, and there are clerics, and there is faith, but they're not... It's more, the sovereign host, stuff like that. The Silver Flame, where they're worshipping kind of principled representations of a higher power. Does that make sense? Hey, do you know Eberron? Have you been reading up on it?
No.
It's the best campaign setting of them all, in my opinion.
No.
It was created in 4th edition.
The third, end of third.
Or was in the
They had a contest. It's a very famous thing. The people that were playing a lot back then remember they had a contest where you could design your own, and everyone did. Chris Perkins designed two different settings,
that's right.
and it was like if they picked yours, you got to be the setting designer. And it was a guy named Keith Baker, who's still around. He invented the card game Gloom,
Oh yeah,
which is a very funny game where you just try to become more and more miserable.
yeah. No, we have that game. It has a great.
Keith Baker invented Eberron.
mechanic,
He was like 19. He just sent it in.
Wow.
Why would you want to become more miserable?
It's just a funny card game, and it's not.
It's kind of a spooky, like Halloween kind of setting.
Ready?
That reminds me
He's still
of the
copying
chess
his
game we
character
played
sheet down. Let's give him just a brief second because he's still
He
equipping
fed
his character.
the defeated chess pieces to the jack-o'-lantern.
What? What are they talking about?
Halloween-themed Dungeons and Dragons, Cody. It's a thing. It's dark. It's
Very.
Ravenloft 2.0. You know what I'm talking about? I think Aiden would like it because he doesn't have the fear of zombies that you have. We were playing Starfinder at Con, and it was aliens. It was like you got on a ship that had. And Cody has no familiarity with aliens. He has no familiarity with, like, in space there's these horrible creatures that are going to eat you and lay eggs inside you and all this kind of
I have a giant fear of space zombies.
Cody didn't know that he had a giant fear of this until this DM, though, that was like having the time of his life. Right? If
Very
you're DMing
descriptive.
aliens, right? Yeah, you're selling it. You're creating the terror. And Cody's just like, Dad, I am
This is
done.
where I wrote for the character backstory.
I recovered.
We played a lot of D&D at the last con, didn't we? We played for like 4 hours. That was a pretty good session.
What characters were I playing?
I played Ai Weiwei.
Oh yes, and I played
You
mine.
don't really have.
Why did that
Yeah.
person try to change into an elf lady? Of all the things,
Yes.
an elf lady wearing Volo's clothes. Why?
Yeah, if I were them, I'd disguise myself as Soldier
And this
Sylvain.
means
And I just quickly
all
jump.
about character appearance.
No, wait, I just turn into something else and not wear the clothes of Volo. Just,
Why not just turn into a bat, leave
And
the clothes
fly
behind,
away.
and go find more
you can only
clothes?
transform into a humanoid.
Just
Aw,
want to
Got it.
Got it.
So,
Okay,
an
then a
Arakoa.
furry humanoid
Arakoas
that
can
don't
fly.
need no clothes.
Are you drawing his character? His character sketch?
Yeah, he was good.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
My son
I'll
Jack.
work on it.
My son Jack used to draw character sketches. They were horrible. Like, he was 9.
Yeah.
But I don't know how great they were. So one guy's like, hey man, I'll pay you $5 to draw a character sketch for you, right? And I'm like, yeah! Jack just draws this, like, stick figure in the box. And the guy gets, he's like, what is this? Okay, are you ready yet, Josiah?
Yeah.
Okay, Josiah, did you want to investigate the signs of struggle and the flipped over table?
No. I will.
You're not interested in investigating that?
I will investigate it.
All
I
right.
would just sit on some random table and.
Continue equipping your character.
I got an 11.
An 11. Okay, so Cody, there's chairs and tables
Please help.
that have all been tipped over, and as you're just kind of straightening out the chairs and stuff, Cody, you see what appears to be something
That looks like an
almost like
face.
chameleon-like camouflage change colors. So it's on the floor next to the chair that you're setting up. You set it up and it turns into like the same color as the floor. A small patch of something that's changing colors.
I will grab it.
Okay, it's a piece of glamour weave. It's a piece of cloth that that magically is able to change colors.
To always match the environment.
In Eberron or in Sharn, nobility wear this stuff sometimes to make their outfit look like the sunrise or the sunset or a beautiful moonscape. Or sometimes noblemen will wear it so they can fit into various social settings that they might be moving through the same day. But as you're holding it, Cody, it stinks. It's a piece of clothing that someone would wear like a shirt. It's been torn from them and it smells truly wretched. So it's a
Now-
bad smelling piece of glamour weave.
Will you study this, please? I will do an investigation check.
This is a
exactly
history
on it.
check. You want to do some history?
I'll do some history.
Okay.
History.
And my
And if you
wizard's
let
still
me know if your
sitting on the
background is
table
guild
studying the
artisan.
potions.
You're still looking through the potions?
Natural 20.
Cody.
So that's 25.
Oh my gosh, Cody. So
What?
you're rolling like a rock star. I hope you're getting all your good rolls out now. As you're investigating the piece of cloth, Cody, which is finally made, and you're intrigued by it as a magician, you've never seen it before, but you've heard talk of it, you see that there's a maker's mark. There's a stamp of the person that made this piece of clothing.
Do I
And
recognize it?
yeah, it's stamped by a very famous gnomish outpost near Moorgrave University. So the cloth was made near Moorgrave University.
Okay.
You could also in studying the battle scene, Grog, this might be for you. You could do a survival check here and see if you could learn more about the fight that actually occurred.
Okay. 15, 16, 17, 18.
An 18. So just by looking at the battleground and your knowledge of combat, you know that there were 4 people that were attacking here, and that none exited out the front door. There's evidence that someone was dragged out the back door with the blood tracks that you saw.
Okay.
Did you want to do any other additional investigation, Josiah?
Picks up an empty beaker and chucks it at a wall.
Okay, as it smashes against the wall, give me a perception check.
Oh, great. Oh, great.
I'll look. I just because I hear it hit. What? Now I'll roll as well.
That was one of the greatest rolls I've ever seen.
3.
It goes in and pops right out the dice tower.
So you see
Why?
a beaker go flying across the room and smash into the corner, Grog, and you flip over and look over there. Give me a perception check.
You know, like in Metal Gear Solid, when they like notice.
We need
something.
you. We need you. We need you.
All right.
You know, like when they.
Okay, make perception.
You know, like
pretty good at
roll. Should I say
Perception.
Oh wait, no, you're not that great at perception, but you should still do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Dad
Oh,
wouldn't have
plus
a
3.
perception
You're
check.
not bad. You're not bad.
Dad wouldn't have us roll a perception check if this was regular.
I rolled a 7.
So, like, you know, in Metal Gear Solid, when
It's
they,
kind
like,
of depressing.
like,
Yeah, not a great roll. Uh-huh.
like, you remember that sound? That's what.
That's the sound you're making?
Yeah.
Okay, throw it.
20! Modified 20.
Okay, so you see the beaker smash into the corner of the factory, and you hear with your ears, you don't actually see this, the sounds of coins trickle down.
I think there's coins in that thing.
Did I just chuck
It shattered.
You definitely heard the glass shatter. You all heard the glass shatter, but Gronk says, I hear gold.
Okay, let's follow that
Let's go
noise.
punch through the wall.
Yeah. Battle through the wall.
Gronk, as you approach the wall,
Kill the
you
wall.
see that there's a fallen purse stuck in the corner of the room with coins spilling out of it.
I pick
What? Mine.
I pick it up and show it to the team.
Okay, guys, there's 211 gold pieces inside this purse and identification papers for Errol Darkness.
Okay.
It looks like it may have been his personal wallet that he tried to hide or something as he was taking.
Does anyone have a
But what's
a
interesting
good
is the thieves
examination?
didn't try to find his gold or take his treasure.
Okay,
Does anyone have like a good investigation check? Who
Oh,
has
yes,
the best
I've got it.
investigation check?
I chucked it in my bag.
I give it to you.
okay. I will investigate it, and that is a 17.
What do you?
You're investigating the
Purse.
The purse?
Yeah.
So the purse looks absolutely normal. It looks like a nobleman's purse with 211 gold pieces and some identification papers.
Great.
It's odd that it was stuck kind of in this part of the, this isn't where the combat was. It looks like maybe someone threw it over here or somehow it got over here. But it doesn't look like the people that were interested in money, whoever was here.
Okay, I quickly
So they
grab
took him
it.
for other reasons.
I quickly place it on my shoulder and say, "Let's find Errol Darkness and give him back his purse."
Excellent.
So you know about you could follow the blood, couldn't you, Gronk?
Yeah. I should.
So maybe.
I wonder if maybe they had to take him somewhere to get healed.
We will find a place where our party can heal up.
We're
If
okay.
anyone is
No, we're thinking maybe someone in the someone who got either Errol Dark.
Okay, let's hunt down Errol Darkness. Jeez, this guy is really good at getting kidnapped.
Follow the footprints.
And probably get attacked or ambushed in some way.
And then murder them with ease.
Yeah, totally.
How long
bodies
do
on
the
the
footprints
streets.
continue?
So you open the back door.
And do I see more of them?
Right as you open the back door, someone else was opening the back door as well. So they kind of pull the door open and you guys kind of fall into each other.
Who was it?
Give me a quick intelligence check.
Okay, 18.
Nice.
Just a straight die roll. Plus 0.
Natural 20.
That's right there. Plus 0.
Yeah.
Just roll it. You're not very smart.
Not 12, 20.
So,
Also, I was not walking.
18.
So you guys, this person is wearing a black hat and fine kind of butler clothing. You recognize him almost immediately as one of the Warforged that was attending to Everdy Darkness when you visited with her in the Crystal.
What's wrong?
And he's shocked to see you guys. What are you doing here? What's happened? And he's looking kind of past you into the room, and he looks very concerned.
We're investigating the crime scene.
Also, we are not those bear people.
Also, we found a purse.
And we would
They're
much
next
like to kill you.
No, we would not.
He reaches for his
Also-
rapier at his side, and he's
No,
like,
he didn't
"Tell
say
me
we
what's
would-
going on here. There's something's gone
I'll
horribly wrong."
explain. So,
Also, take this purse.
no, I'm keeping.
No, don't give it to him.
This is okay.
No one gave you
Errol
the
Dark.
purse.
So
They're not
when
going to trust
the giant
Gronk with the
scorpion
purse.
attacked, it was just a diversion so that they could kidnap Errol Darkness. They killed
You know
his
of
guards.
the mistress's plans to kidnap her own husband?
Yes.
Well, something has gone horribly wrong. The kidnappers have not met at the place they were supposed to meet. It seems like they are not planning on just kidnapping him. They might have other plans for him. And the mistress is very concerned that these hooligans that she has hired are not following her plan.
Why would you even kidnap your own husband?
That is for her to discuss with you. I thought you knew the plan. If you do not know the plan, why am I talking to you?
We knew
And he
the
starts
plan.
to back
People
away.
with the plan. We were kind of just
Slaughtering. Aiming for XP points.
opens dictionary.
Yeah, we opened our
My foot
dictionaries.
is
I need a word here.
Just stumble on the floor.
Okay. We were looking for clues. We theorized that she committed it because
What about
the locations matched up.
Correct.
We figured out that she was doing it, and we tried to stop her plan.
And then it went horribly wrong.
It seems like you know pretty much everything that was going on. There's more to it than that, of course. There always is here in Sharn. However, the troop that she has hired doesn't seem to have brought the hostage to the drop-off spot. And there is concern that they may be up to their own evil ends with her husband. She, of course, wants no harm to come to him. The kidnapping is just a ruse, as you know.
Why did you her own husband?
Well, there's more to the story than you obviously know, and I will allow her to tell you the rest of the tale.
So we just killed the people
But
that she was trying to...
it is very urgent that you find him as soon as possible.
Why?
The men that were used to kidnap him were new and not normal agents in the town, and my mistress knows very little about them, except for they're from a theater company.
No, I-
They've only been in town for a few days.
Bards, the worst kind of.
I hate bards.
No, if I lose all my weapons,
only
one
I
bard.
can do a punch.
There was a
Heals,
bird in the
so
center
a
behind
max of
me.
4 damage.
I kicked her away.
On
As
one
you stop,
strike.
and think for a bit, you also notice that there's like a person sleeping in the alley near some trash cans, kind of behind
Why
the
is he sleeping?
Warforged,
You have to
like a
explain
homeless
that.
person.
Okay. I'll investigate him. Okay, I shock him awake and question him. And I give him one
What's
book.
going on? A man can't even get a good sleep in this alley. This used to be a peaceful alley, but there's so much going on here today. What's going on? What do you want?
Here, 50 gold pieces. I throw 50 gold pieces from the...
Oh! He's ecstatic. I mean, there's more money than he's ever seen in his entire life.
What can you even
Runs
get
away.
with 50 gold pieces?
Ah, drunk forever and ever. Hooray!
Um,
And he starts to stand up. He looks ragged and old. He's dressed poorly.
Why don't you spend your money wisely? Get a job.
You might want to get yourself some clothes first.
I get some jobs, some fine clothes, and get a decent hotel stay.
Wow, you're the second group of crazy people to walk out this door.
Can you tell
5
us,
other people came out just before you.
Can you tell us about them?
Yes. A couple of them were wearing those fancy theater masks that you see in the nicer part of towns. These appeared to have some kind of strange, red squiggly lines all over them.
Oh no.
One of them was hurt very, very, very bad, bleeding all out. Another was out cold, being carried by 2 others. I watched them go for a bit, none the wiser. They didn't see me sleeping in the alley. Maybe I was going to be able to steal something from them that they might have dropped. The bleeding one wanted to go straight to the cliff top to find a healer, so they split up. Nowhere to hide on a lift, so I watched them go from the shadows, returned to here later, and fell back asleep.
Okay.
Great.
Now my character.
We have a purse that contains
See,
literally like
writing
about
is
200
the best
gold
way to get
pieces, so-
information.
They
you're also
were
gonna lose a
muttering
lot
all
of
sorts of
cash.
strange nonsense like you guys are muttering. Things like fear reveals truth, like it was some kind of weird greeting. The one with the fancy cloak also said something about the shaper of nightmares would be coming soon. It brought chills to my spine just to hear him intone it.
No.
I think
They're
we're
gonna
looking.
sacrifice Arrow Darkness to their god.
I don't know anything about sacrificing. One of them smelled funny.
I stole
One
some cloth
second.
from him.
We are like investigating crime scene-ish, and I think you might have just confirmed some of our worst fears.
No.
As they approached the corner to the alley there, a guard walked by, hurrying past like he was running to a fire or something. They dropped the man they were carrying by those trash cans.
Okay, so I go over to the trash cans.
All right.
And what do I
What
find?
can you
DC
even?
10 wisdom check, insight, Cody.
What can you even get
Insight.
with 50
I follow
gold
Cody
pieces?
with both daggers
Get
out,
armor.
just in case.
Good.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I only have
How many
daggers.
things could you
Okay.
get?
13.
Get along.
What could you get with
13.
silver pieces?
When you approach the trash cans, Cody, you find an obsidian, a shard of obsidian that has the symbol of the cult of the dragon below etched into the obsidian.
Investigate.
Okay? It's a
Okay.
DC 20 religion check.
Oh,
Very hard.
I know this well.
Come on, come on. Failed.
Yeah, I don't think any of you guys have good religion.
Okay, 18.
Not good enough. Gronk, how's your
What do
religion?
you get? What did I get for 18?
Okay,
You
Gronk,
found
do
this
have any
shard of
religion?
obsidian with the symbol of the cult of the dragon below and some additional kind of weird draconic writing. Stuff that you were taught to recognize as...
Gronk doesn't know anything
Yeah.
about this.
So you just have a shard. It's got some additional writing that you might want to have someone look at later, but it
I'm
doesn't
gonna
currently...
try to
Let's
look at
go.
it again.
And
to try to
the
remember.
beggar in the alley has told you. So the robot, as you guys turn back around to see if the beggar has additional information, the husband, the The Warforged butler is nowhere to be seen. He's vanished. He may have gone into the factory, or he may have left the scene. But you do know that the party, the kidnappers, appear to have split up here. Half going to a healer, and half heading somewhere else.
Okay, let's go where the somewhere else is.
Let's go.
The clues that you have are the piece of glamour weave fabric that you believe was made
Okay, let's go to
in a by a
theater
gnome in Moorgrave University, and then you have a mask that you believe came from a theater company that's performing in one of the kind of the dock district.
Let's go to the theater.
And we also
company
have the
first.
villain's purse.
The villain's purse, exactly right. Remember, he's the villain.
No.
Don't ever forget, he's the villain. No, don't. They might try to trick you.
Great.
It's really
We
easy
need
to
some
go
combat
in
here, though.
Even
Yeah,
You're
everyone
itching
is
for
less
battle.
combat-y and more investigation-y, particularly in the cities. Once you get out into the woods, it's a little bit more Indiana Jonesy adventure
More
stuff.
monsters.
But you guys are in a city right now, so it's a lot of investigation and it's a lot of not Gronk killing people with his sword.
and not
I know,
least,
but, like,
and
some-
not least slicing people to smithereens.
Yeah, I know that's your favorite thing
We
to
should
do.
go to the healer, so.
You'd like to head up to the
I'm going
healers?
to the
Yeah,
theater
to see
company.
if there's
Let's split
any
up
other-
here.
Okay.
Half to the healers, half to the...
Let's do a vote. So we have healers or theater company.
Well, there's
Oh,
there's
there's
three.
three,
I
there's
think there's
three.
3 different
Yeah.
areas, so you guys can split into 3s. Each one of you could go investigate something separately.
Okay.
But basically, you've got, you think one of the kidnappers was badly wounded, and he and a friend went to the healers. In Eberron, the healers are called House Jalasco, or Alasco, Jalisco. And House Jalasco is all halflings. And they're not necessarily all clerics, but they're all trained in healing arts. Some of those healing arts are spiritual healings, like let's have a party and eat a lot of food, right? And some of it's actually like cure light wound spells and resurrection spells and stuff like that. But they're halflings. And they have a huge village in the middle of town.
Are they obese?
A lot of halflings are obese, unfortunately.
Right.
And the obesity is a big problem in the halfling community.
Okay.
They've been working on it for a long
Diabetes.
time.
I'm running-
Yeah, diabetes is a struggle.
I'm running over to the play company.
You'd like to go investigate the theater company? Now, the theater company is kind of in the wharf area, which is down kind of in a it used to be a nice part of town, but in Sharn, the town is constantly reinventing itself. It's constantly building new towers and re-architecting the urban landscape. So it's not like a very like Irvine is the same every day. In Sharn, a huge building could go up one day that wasn't there 2 days ago. And a lot of this construction is magically driven, and also by massive warforged constructs. They build buildings very quickly, and so the area where this theater company is used to be like a very nice ritzy part of town, but it's recently become a much more kind of
Okay, I'm going
dark,
there.
poor part of town. But there still are theater companies and other
I'm
nighttime
going-
Are there
entertainments.
free or
Theater.
four-way? Where are we now?
You'd also like to head to the theater?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are the
Wizards.
What do you
Daddy
need?
was in
Theater?
pockets.
Remember, because the
Long
mask
swords.
is part of the theater.
Long sword
So it's like
sheath.
people put on plays in the city. So
Should we
that's
go?
Haha,
so
joke's
what
on
are
you.
our options?
we're gonna stick
Cody, do you want to
together.
review the options?
Yeah, so we got theater
Where are
party.
you right now?
Joke's on
Okay.
you.
We're not using the map right now.
Here are
We're just
options.
in the imaginary world.
Kill injured enemies, kill super strong enemies, or investigate a
Taylor.
tailor. Got it? What do you want to do?
What are our options?
Yeah.
So we can either go to healer or go to.
Healer, theater company, or tailor.
By tailor, do you mean like a
They
hair
make clothes.
tailor?
No.
Oh, right.
He sews
They're
clothes.
gnomes that make elaborate magical clothing. In Eberron, people wear strange clothing. As Gronk is just shocked by how strangely they dress. They wear
How much
shoes,
clothing they wear.
Yeah, shoes with buckles and straps and laces. They're very kind of steampunky in their attire.
Okay, I
How much
have a
money do they spend?
feeling we should go to the healer.
Yeah.
This is the center of the world, basically. This is the biggest city, so these
This
people are
is
dressing
basically
alright.
New York.
Yes.
I think
New
we
York
sh-
Times
Are we in like an
America.
alleyway?
New
Yeah,
York.
You're in it.
Alley,
You're kind of
okay,
coming out of an
America,
alleyway. There's some trash
England,
cans. There's it's
London,
it's
London,
late
New York,
afternoon right now. You
Paris,
guys have been at it all day.
and Egypt.
Remember, you got a job at a pet store. You have to show up at
Yeah.
work tomorrow.
Just mix them
So
all
Can't
together
forget
and
that.
you
There's
got what
pet
you
store.
have.
Yeah.
A rich gold.
I think we should probably head to the healers.
Expensive stuff.
So you're voting healers, but they've been voting theater company pretty
I guess we'll
consistently.
go to the theater.
Why do you want to go to the healers? What's your thinking?
He wants to be healed. And
Is he
eat a
hurt?
lot of
Is
food.
Gronk hurt?
Want to be
Okay.
just to be safe.
Right.
Just be safe.
Plus, you might be able to capture the wounded guy, and get some information out of him before you head to the theater company.
Yeah, I think it's
Do
just
some
your
background
tracking
investigation.
instinct.
Okay, how about you go after the injured guys, because you're the tough fighter role. You have two guys investigate the theater.
I think splitting up in the big city might be a bad, risky idea, Cody.
I know what I'm doing. 'Cause this is
I
going
don't
to be an
really
interesting
agree.
fight.
Yeah, you could just go with the group over
I'll
wanna go
just
to
go to the
And
Yeah.
Josiah, where are you thinking? I think Cody wants to go to the theater company because he thinks there's something to kill down there. What is your thinking?
I'm going to go to the root of the crime.
Maybe go buy 90 pounds of dynamite and blow our way through the city.
Yes.
No, of course we're not going to do that.
But after that,
Theater?
After that,
And why do you want to go to the theater, Josiah?
Because
kill.
that's Artie's name. Killing.
because if there's someone there like the Phantom of the Opera, we can go kill him.
Yeah,
Or
what
at
is
least
it?
Well, and
But-
also, if they did kidnap him to do some kind of strange dragon below blood ritual or something,
Yeah, that's a super obscure
you
place.
might want to get there before they kill Errol Darkness.
Yeah, so let's go.
Yeah.
Right, he has paid you. I think he already paid you to be his bodyguards.
Yeah, 200 gold.
Right, and you already lost him like within minutes of him paying you, so
Haven't gone
We're
there.
he might want to renegotiate.
We're the worst bodyguards. and
You
that's
are
the
now
main
willingly
point.
entering the district that people actively try to escape from and fail. The Sharn Watch does not set foot in Khalistan. Best tread carefully and keep a close eye on your purse and your back. You were instructed by everyone, after being told how dangerous it was to enter, to start your search at the bridge, the central plaza that serves as the market and the town square. So you're not exactly sure where this theater company is performing. You don't know where the theater house is. You know the name, you've seen the posters, but you're not exactly sure where to go.
Okay, let's
Let's put all our backs together and make sure we don't get stabbed in it.
Okay, and who's carrying what? So you guys have the purse?
Purse.
You got the purse?
Purse.
You've got the broken mask piece?
No, I got the obsidian shard.
You've got the obsidian shard? Do you want to carry the broken mask, or are you carrying anything else? Who's got the broken mask?
Make it rain with the
That weird
purse.
cloth with
You've got the
broken
glamour
mask
weave and the mask. You're holding both of those. Okay.
in one hand. Away from me.
Okay, as you come down into this district, it's approaching like
Mafia.
dinner time, late afternoon. The streets are crowded and packed
That's
with
what-
people.
Oh yeah, he's not flying the
Are we
smell.
in like the main city?
Let's do a quick DC 10 wisdom or insight or perception check.
DC 10 insight or perception?
I'm gonna.
Insight. +1.
What about perception?
Oh yeah, that's +3.
18.
23, natural
Holy
20.
cow.
Insight.
Why are we
Okay,
getting so many
insight
credits at this
14.
table? And then we always get 9s and 1s.
All right, you guys notice almost immediately that you are horribly out of place in this district. Most of the people dressed in this district are dressed in a very kind of stylized steampunk, gutter punk almost way. Oh, Lisa, run over there and see what she's got, Josiah.
Oh yes, please.
Uh-oh. Brownie break? I think we might have to take a brownie break.
I think
Is that okay? We're not
that
getting very
sounds-
far today, but that's okay.
Yeah, they're having a good time.
I'm having a good time. One of the things I'm worried about, I would just want to do this.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah,
sit
yeah.
at the table and learn to talk?
Uh-huh,
That's,
yeah.
That to me is worth more than anything else.